Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share something today that has kind of been on my mind. I think that with more information and more education, we can all kind of change our behaviors and our perceptions of things. I don't want to be one of those nightmare parents that never helps their children's teachers or doesn't value them or leaves them out to dry when there's a situation. I never have been that, and now that I'm getting into teaching, I feel that way even more. I saw this video on YouTube and it was supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. People under the video were commenting and they thought that was so funny. You know, they just, all these comments, and I know that's right, and all this stuff, and it's like, really? That made me so upset. So you actually view teachers as a daycare center for your children? And what are you doing at home during the summer to make your child behave better? What are you doing when your child is at home in the evening to make sure that your child knows how to respect authority and respect, you know, teachers and treat people right? It just irritated me. I don't know why people view teachers as being their babysitters and daycare centers. It's not how it works, people. Don't send your child to school at a disadvantage already, not training them how to act, not being a part of their education, and you expect your teacher to work all kinds of miracles for you and change them into this wonderful student who obeys and who has a great personality and who cares. It's not going to happen. So this video is dedicated to you as a parent and how you can be a help, not a hindrance to your child's teacher. Teachers have a lot to deal with. I have been reading recently about different statistics on teachers. Do you know that 50% of teachers quit within their first 5 years? Now that tells you that there are some issues going on in terms of maybe administrative situations or things that they are hindered in doing. Maybe they had an ideal of how teaching would be and that's not what it is, or maybe there's so many behavior problems that they just couldn't deal with it anymore, or maybe the fact there's so many standardized tests now and there's a lot of pressure. Whatever it may be, there is a high rate of teachers who change professions after 5 years, and I'm not gonna lie, that did concern me, so I dug deeper. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up is the fact that 94% of teachers pay for supplies for their children in their classroom. And I'll admit, confession's good for the soul. I used to be one of those parents who would complain when we were sent home next year's supply list, and for one child it's about 80 bucks, for my second child it's about $90, and for the third child it's right around there. So basically for 3 children I'm paying $300 for school supplies. That's not including anything else that they need. And I was like, back in my day we only needed a pencil box and some glue, crayons, and some scissors. Yeah, I was one of those parents. But I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand why I was getting notes in the middle of the year saying, hey, my classroom is low on hand sanitizer, or hey, would you care to donate some Kleenex? You know, I didn't know what was going on, and I even thought, okay, I'm sending my child to school with 28 pencils. Why does she always have this small pencil? Well, the reason is because teachers are having to pay for these things. It's almost equivalent to getting a job at a bank. And before you start, they say, okay, well, when you come in, make sure that you bring your own desk, you have to bring your own chair, and we also need you to bring your own computer because we don't provide that. Well, I'm doing a job for you. I'm coming into your place of employment and I'm working for you. So now on top of me having to come to work and work for you, I have to bring all these supplies to do a job that you should provide the things for me to be able to do. It just doesn't make sense, and I don't understand how teachers can go to school for 4 years, and in some cases they incur a lot of student debt, and then when they start teaching, you really don't make a whole lot teaching in most instances, and on top of that, now you have to spend $1,000 a year to make sure that your children have the resources to learn, and that is just outrageous. So here's another way you can support your child's teacher. finances are a concern for you, and they are pretty much for all of us, but maybe you're just really strapped and you can't help out by buying things for your children's teachers, that's okay. There are other ways you can help. One thing you can do is you can visit your child's classroom. If you have a day off of work during the week or whatever, go in and just sit with your child. Support your child in their education. There's a lot of children who don't have that. It's like, you know, if you go to a new job and you're brand new and the atmosphere's new and the people are new and nobody cares that you're new and nobody's there to support you and nobody asks how your day is going and nobody comes and helps you with things that you need help with, that's equivalent to having a parent at home that doesn't help you, doesn't worry about your homework, they could care less, that's up to you to do it. You're all alone in this big world. You maybe just started high school or just started middle school and you're all alone in this effort. That's a lonely feeling for a child. And as a parent, we want to make sure that we're involved. I know we have busy lives, but take a half hour out every night and just ask your child, is there anything you need help with? Is there anything that you're not understanding at school? Are you dealing with any problems with other children? Do you feel like you're being bullied? Are you bullying? You know, talk to your children. Stay in tune with them. Every single day when I pick my children up, if I'm on the phone, I get off the phone. All of my friends and relatives know when I pick my kids up, that's my time with my children. And I ask them, okay, Kylie, how was your day today? What happened to you? Who did you play with? Maya, what happened? Did you have a good day or a bad day? What went on? You know, I even asked the little one, you know, did you have fun today? Who did you play with? What made you excited? What new thing did you learn? You know, get into their little minds and show that you care and be involved with your children's education. You know, that's not something that only socioeconomically, that's not only something that rich people should be doing. You know, there's this whole, your children need you. They need that. They need that support. And when you help your children, in turn, you help the teachers. Because the teachers know, okay, with her, with this student, I know if I have any issues with her at all, if I have any concerns, if maybe she's not catching something or maybe she's being a discipline problem, I can contact her parents or her mother or her father. I can contact them and I know that I'm going to have help in that situation. That helps a teacher in the classroom as well, to where they don't feel so overwhelmed that there's so many children there and they're in it alone. Thing you can do is you can volunteer your time. Come into your children's school and tell them, hey, is there anything you need done? Do you need any copies made? Do you want me to sit in on this? Maybe they're doing some kind of a program or some kind of a special little event and they could use extra hands. Anything, just go in for 2 hours and just give them some of your time and be there for them and help them. That helps them to know that you understand that teaching is very complex and that there's a lot of facets to it and that you're there to help them to carry that burden, you know? Teachers love what they do for the most part, I'm sure. I know even me just being prepared to become a teacher, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to teach children. I'm excited to fix up my room. I'm excited to make it colorful and fun for my children. I want it to be an inviting refuge for them in the morning when they come in. I want it to be a safe place for them. I'm thinking of all these different things and how I can make these children feel and maybe what I can do to improve their lives. But teachers can't do it all on their own. You know, they need the assistance and the support of the parents. So just be more involved. You know, something else you can do when there's parent-teacher conferences, show up for them. There's a reason for those. I don't think I've ever missed a parent-teacher conference with my children. I don't think I have ever missed a parent-teacher conference to this day, and my oldest child has been in school for 8 years. It's so important to sit down in front of that teacher and talk about your individual child, their strengths, their weaknesses, what that teacher needs help with. You know, sometimes I'll even ask them, okay, are there any areas where they're struggling? And sometimes if my teachers and sometimes if my child's teacher says, hey, you know, Maya's having trouble in math, I'll ask her, do you have any resources or any maybe links online or anything that I can look up that would be a good way to help her learn better? What is something I can do to help her get this, to help her understand this? So I go home and then I take some time and I sit down with her and I teach her what she's not understanding. So that way my child's teacher doesn't have to take a half hour of a day and work with just my child when she has 26 other children that need her. That is where a parent comes in. You are just such a huge help to a teacher, and it's such a relief to a teacher to know that this parent actually cares about every aspect of their child's education. Need help in the lunchroom, they might need help in the office. A lot of time when there's field trips. They can use chaperones to help watch the children. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do. Go help organize bookshelves, or go to the library and ask the librarian if there's anything that you can help her with or him with. Just whatever it is that needs to be done around the school, you can be the person to help do that. And even if you dedicated an hour every 2 weeks, imagine if every parent in a school did that. Just said, okay, for today, on Tuesdays, I'm off, so I'm going to go in from 1 to 2, and I'm going to do whatever I can do in that amount of time. Imagine if every single parent did that, how much help teachers and faculty in the school would have. You can laminate, you can cut things out, you can help a teacher prepare for a project, you can clean if a teacher needs, you know, tables and chairs wiped down with Clorox wipes to make sure that germs aren't everywhere. Anything, just anything. I'm sure that your teacher would appreciate the fact that you're coming in and that you're even thinking of her. That shows that you care. That is huge. Thing to remember is teachers' birthdays, teacher appreciation weeks, things like that. And even at the end of the year, bring your teachers in some flowers, bring them in a little gift, make them some cookies. It's cheap, you don't have to do anything elaborate, but just a little token of your appreciation would be nice. And those little things will keep them going throughout the year. It lets them know that the hard work that they do is appreciated. Some little small gesture can go a really long way in the life of a teacher. Something else you can do as a parent is make sure your child gets enough sleep. I'll admit, my whole life I have been a night owl. This has been a challenge for me, but I make sure that my children are in bed at a reasonable hour, not 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. The latest they go to bed is about 9:30, and sometimes they'll go to bed about 8:30. I don't have a real strict set time, but right around that time, we're getting our nighttime routines done, teeth are being brushed, hair is being combed, little night down, I'm reading them a book, and we're settling down. So that by the time they go to sleep, they've gotten a good 10 to 11 hours of sleep per night. And that makes a big difference, because if your child is not sleeping well, when they go to school, they can't concentrate right, they can't perform well. A lot of times they're grouchy, and then there's issues within the classroom with them maybe not getting along with other children. And it all stems back to just basically they didn't get enough sleep that night. Another good thing to do is, especially before the school year starts, and even remind them throughout the year, just teach your children not to be mean to other kids. There is so much meanness, and now there's social media, posting pictures of their classmates and making fun of them, and everybody gangs up on them on social media, and so much mess that can go on. You know, just please, if your children have those kinds of things, regularly and randomly monitor those things. You don't know what's going on them. You don't realize the things that kids are saying and doing. I didn't. I'm blown away with it. So just make sure that your children understand the importance of treating other people right. You know, this bullying stuff, it's like a big buzzword, but it's really true. There's a lot of bullying going on, and children won't always come to you and tell you, hey, I'm being bullied at school. It's not cool to go tell. It's not cool to tell your parents and get them involved. That's not the cool thing. So to stay, they're not going to have the pressure of their peers telling them they're a snitch. They'll just endure it until they can't handle it anymore, and then maybe do something crazy. So make sure that you're in tune with your child's life, and make sure that your child is not a bully. Teach them the importance of treating other people right, even from a young age. My little 8-year-old and my young one, I teach them every day. If you see a child on the playground who has somebody to play with, invite them to play. Show them that they're included. That feels good to know that you're part of a little group. You know, who wants to be out by themselves feeling like they don't have anybody who likes them? So the other day, my 8-year-old kid made me so proud. She said she was on the playground and there was this little girl on the swing that was just standing there, and she looked really lonely. So she asked her, hey, do you want to play with me? And the girl was like, sure, and they played together. You know, those little things teach your children the importance of other people's feelings and emotions from a young age, and that is very important. So just make sure you support your teachers. If they call you and there's a problem, don't get offended. Figure out what's going on and help your child and your teacher to work it out so that they can go on and have a good relationship, and so that the classroom can be conducive to learning for everyone. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can catch my next one.